So I'm often referred to as either Black or Latino, but rarely as both. And I insist on identifying myself as Afro Latino.
Even if I win the election, it's governing that matters. Delivering results.
I think the reason people say Black is because it justifies writing one story about Mondaire Jones and myself. And I'm honored to be in a story with Mondaire because he's my brother, but it's disrespectful to my heritage to erase my Latino identity.
How are you, Ma?
I live by an ethic of radical authenticity. That's what inspired me to come out of the closet, and that's what's inspired me to be so open about my struggle with depression. And I see no shame in admitting that I struggle with depression, and see no shame in admitting that I take an antidepressant every day. You know, elected officials should not look like cartoon characters. We should be accessible and human.
Street level policing that I painfully experienced as an adolescent.
To the people we represent. And mental illness is a humanizing and unifying experience because almost all of us have either had struggles with mental illness or we know people in our lives who had. You know, I dropped out of college. I'm going to be one of the few college dropouts in Congress. And when I dropped out of college, it was because I was struggling with depression and abusing substances. And I lost a dear friend of mine from an opioid overdose. I was struggling with my sexual identity. There were moments when I thought of taking my own life because I felt as if the world around me had collapsed. And I would not be alive today. I would not be a member of the United States Congress were it not for the power of mental health care.
And I would not be here today were it not for my mother. And the South Bronx is full of mothers like mine who have suffered and struggled.
The heart and soul of the South Bronx are women of color. Latina is an African-American woman. It's women of color who are the essential workers, putting their lives on the line. It's women of color who are sustaining Bronx families in our moment of greatest crisis. You know, when I think of the South Bronx, the person that comes to mind is my mother. And so when I wake up every day, I ask myself, am I doing right by the essential workers, by the powerful mothers of the South Bronx? Ultimately, I hope people will ask about what I will do rather than who I am.
I stand by what I've chosen to do, even if it means standing alone.
I want to see an expansion of the housing vouchers program so that more families in need pay no more than 30% of their income toward their rent. The present structure of the child tax credit is so regressive that it excludes a third of American families, the poorest families in America. But who I am is important, right? Who I am as a public servant is rooted in my beliefs and values. It's rooted in my lived experiences and my identity. And all Americans have a right to feel a sense of belonging to their government.